Okay.
So that's going to be a very interesting thing for me.
Okay, so hi everybody tuning in to Facebook. I know you came in for the show, but I know you're waiting to hear Barbara Askins.
Yes.
Right?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
So only Curtis and I knows why we are not talking. Because he liked the intro of the music to come on and bring the right lady on the right way.
That's what's up.
So Barbara Askins serves as the president and CEO of the 125th Street Business Improvement District in Upper Manhattan, Harlem, in New York City. She has over 20 plus years of experience in the field of improving cities as a public involvement specialist on transportation, environmental, and facility planning projects, working on major projects in several cities. That has included reconstruction of highways and city streets and blah, 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 convention center. But more importantly, she was former chair of Community Board 10 in Central Harlem. She serves as an adjunct professor at New York University, teaching urban tourism development. She's also in charge of the Harlem Holiday Lights.
Yeah.
All right.
Why is that important? Because On Point Experience is a media sponsor
That's right.
of Harlem Holiday Lights. This is our first time doing this. We are very excited, and we just want to thank you, Barbara Askins, for the number of years of work and service that you've given to our people and being the voice of 125th Street. Because everybody always assumes that your job is easy.
Oh my God.
But first, let's just say good morning and
Good morning.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
So we're going to touch on a couple of things, just real quick, and then everyone else will time. First, you guys say where you from, because 20 years, I don't know why you still got an accent. Where you from, and what is a bid? What is the bid, and what does the bid do?
Okay, I'm from Plaquemine, Louisiana. It's on the west bank of the Mississippi River opposite Baton Rouge. I was born in New Orleans Charity Hospital. Business Improvement District is a tax assessment district where property owners pay an additional assessment above the real estate taxes to fund the services that we do from Morningside to Fifth Avenue. That's all the, legal blah, 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 blah. But basically what happens is a group of property owners have come together to allow us to come up with creative solutions to make 125th Street grow, and they pay for it.
And they do that in other parts of the city too, right?
There are 74 bids in New York City, and there are 1,000 in the United States, and there are like about 2,000 in Canada. It's now a global phenomenon.
Wow.
And rumor has it that you probably founded this particular bid, huh?
Yeah, I did that thing. I did that thing. It's like, but it's one of those things in Harlem that was so special because there were a bunch of us that were looking at streets that we were like adopting. So 125th Street was the one I worked with, but there are others in Harlem, 110th Street, 135th Street, 116. There were individuals that championed those streets. And so I have to applaud myself and everybody around, because it was not easy, and bringing people together, and that's what it's about.
We did it for you.
Yeah, bringing people together. It's like Curtis and Yasmin, and we go back a lot of years, a lot of nights, a lot of talking. Yeah.
So why is the lighting of 125th, why are you so passionate about that? Why is that one of your favorite events? Because you guys do a plethora, a cornucopia, y'all do many events. Why is that one event one that really makes you feel good and that you put a lot of effort and energy into?
Well, I have to go back to Harlem history, which is always what drives me. There was a man, Muhammad Ali, who walked the streets of Harlem. And I remember when I first came to 125th Street, I put up signage, like, you see pole decorations on 125th Street. And I thought it was so great. You see it all over the city. So he came over to me and he said, listen, everybody's talking about you, but I'm going to tell you what the real deal is. This is Harlem. We want some lights. You take them postage stamps down from that street. So
Muhammad
I was like,
Ali
oh my
said
God,
that?
Muhammad Ali.
Oh
He
God.
came to me.
The real Muhammad Ali?
No.
Oh.
I met him too. Muhammad Ali from Community Board. The water
I said, wait a minute, he said that.
I think you talking about float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
No.
And then Denzel told you something different.
It's Harlem's Muhammad Ali. Harlem's.
man.
No, he was great too. It was great. He was great too.
You
So
have went with that. Yeah, he said
I should have. I should have. I should have spent it all the way, right?
There's no way to verify.
Right. No. Right. That's right. And I do have his signature, so I should have done
Nah.
that. I should have done that.
No, but I
Too
think that the original Muhammad Ali will be upset. He'll be like, "Yo,
would.
why are you giving credit to the wrong man?"
He
Yeah.
would, he
Right.
would, and he walked the streets of Harlem. And from that point on, I just started looking at bringing more lights, because he let me know the heart of Harlem wanted to see lights. And each year we just start building and building and building. And this year we have a fantastic program. We started with just maybe spending like about $13,000 on lights. This year we're spending 70, and we have new lights, and they're going to be fantastic.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I mean, lights are so important because I grew up in Washington Heights, still do during the crack era, and where there was no street lights. So during the holidays, people coordinated their Christmas things along the fire escapes, and it's really important. Lights really is an incredible community event.
Exactly. I mean, there are psychological studies that show that communities that have holiday decorations and stuff, the people themselves, they improve. They're not as depressed as others.
Right.
And so it's seem like a minor thing,
No, it's
but
not.
it really uplifts everyone.
It does.
So Barbara,
Yeah.
I was a part of a bid when we were doing some things in the Bronx, and I know they are absolutely crucial.
You served a bid in the Bronx? I'm sorry to hear
Third
that,
Avenue?
brother.
Which one?
man, like 6
Was
years.
it Third Avenue?
No, actually, it was on Castle Hill.
Okay, cool.
Right, so they were trying to put together. I know it's not easy
No.
to rally business owners together
No.
because they're so focused on running their business, right? They really don't want to be involved in anything that doesn't necessarily seem to make them money.
Right.
But for those that are out there, talk about how important it is if you have a local business district to join it, and how being a part of that helps with the economics of your own personal business.
Well, okay, the importance of it is understanding your value as a business person and understanding the value of the business improvement district. The bid is really the voice of the business owner. And so it becomes incumbent of the executive director, the president, whatever, to get them to understand that. Because return on investment is not necessarily in cash. You know, business owners get return on investment in a lot of ways. It's like if we improve the foot traffic on 125th Street and there are a lot of people out there, and you know that there at 12 o'clock there are so many people on the street, you then have a captive audience. So it's not necessarily just about money. But one of the things that has to happen is with an executive director, you look at how much they're paying for rent when you come in, and you look at how much they're paying, how much rent they're getting when you leave out. It's when I started on 125th Street, the landlords were charging $15 to $35 a square foot. We're now at $150 to $200 a square foot. So anytime someone say, "What is this bid doing?" I say, "Excuse me, what are we? Do you know where we came from?" You know, looking at the value of how the street increased and how it grew. But the thing that's the challenge is working within a community. Working within a community, because you grow the business district, but you can't leave the community behind. So that's the other part, integrating into the community. So that's challenging because business owners don't want to get separated from the community, but they want to make money at the same time.
So, Barbara,
Well,
what should we...
real quick,
Okay, sure.
I'm sorry, one thing to say. So one thing I thought that was real important about the bid we have and what you guys do is that sometimes you own a business and you don't know the other business owners. You walk by them. But what I thought was important for the bid when we had the meetings, I got a chance to meet 30 other business owners that were on my block or in the neighborhood. So that was great for us to even know what they did and who represented in that room. So I thought that's important. So I'm sorry, Kurt.
That's all right, brother. So on Thursday, we have this huge event coming
Yeah.
up. And we are media sponsors, so we would be remiss if we didn't put some information out there. Why should the public come down? What we got cracking, Barbara? Let them know why they got to come and populate this event.
Oh, you have to come. We have a whole day of activities starting at 3 o'clock. There's a health village, and Health First and all of the health institutions are going to be out there. There's going to be free blood pressure check-in. There's immunization shots they're going to be doing. Starts at 3 o'clock, 3 until 7. We also will have some young people learning how to paint and to draw. The unit project is going to be out there teaching young kids how to do that. We're having a silent party. We're having the first silent, quiet clubbing party on 125th Street. You know, you should
You may
go.
want to explain what that
Right,
that is
right.
right
I was
there.
like, what? What do you mean? Like,
That's
what?
like an
Everybody's being
oxymoron.
It's like
Silent
miming?
party.
What are you doing, miming?
It's like jumbo shrimp.
Quiet party, quiet party.
It's like the Muhammad Ali.
See
Well, not
these,
that
these
one,
earphones we have on right now. So you can go to our site and buy earphones. We have 3 DJs, 3 channels where we're going to be. One channel of rhythm and blues, one channel old school, and one hip hop. So you change to your channels to listen to your music, but no one can hear
can
the
hear
music
you.
but you. And the range is 1,500 feet, so you can walk up and down 125th Street, go wherever you're going to go, and dance through the streets. So we're pushing for 500 earphones. We
Oh my
want
God.
500 people
That's
to be
hot. So
partying across
you got 500
125th
people
Street.
on 125th Street
Fi-
dancing silently.
dancing.
I don't
While
know how
we're-
that's going to work.
While we lighting up 125th Street.
I don't know if y'all been on 125th Street before.
We need Bobby's Happy House back for that one.
Y'all forget this is still in the community. This ain't like this ain't Times Square.
Oh
Barbara.
yeah, it's gonna be so cool. We have kids on roller skates in the silent party.
Yeah.
That's gonna be partying on the street. Then we have a community stage that's with music.
You got some
dances,
you
local
got
people
some
from the
dope
community.
DJs gonna be
We
on
have dope DJs. We have some characters. You're gonna love this. We have some comic characters from Marvel Productions.
Okay.
Comic-Con style.
You're coming up and down 125th
Oh my God, you're gonna have
That's
like
what's up.
Marvel. You're gonna have Black Panther.
Well, I will find out Monday. I put in
Okay.
the request. I put in the request for Black
If
Panther.
he doesn't call you back, Jeff on the low is
He
the
could
Black
be
Panther.
Black Panther.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
You see?
I'll be there.
That's him.
His superpower, he'll fix your credit.
We're gonna put you there. And then we have a children's.
Muhammad Ali
village.
gonna be there?
We're gonna be there as
Rest
long
in
as you
peace.
want us there. Okay. So we have a children's village. You know, across 125th Street, the store owners, which I know Maria's coming on.
Yeah.
So the store owners are having trivia. They having employees talent shows. They're giving away. They're giving away
No,
chocolate.
go ahead, go ahead.
They give away hot chocolate. Starbucks have a Harlem cocoa that they're putting out. It's
Starbucks
sounds
got a
real
Harlem
big.
cocoa.
Starbucks
Yeah.
have a Harlem
It must
cocoa.
have had cinnamon in it.
It
Was it?
does.
Uh-huh.
It
I know
does
that's a
have
VR.
cinnamon. It
She's
does have
happy.
cinnamon.
It does.
It is an ugly sweater contest
Uh,
at Apple?
ugly-
And I
ugly
think we're
sweat.
doing that. Are we involved in that? Are we still involved with
you
it?
are involved. I thought you were going to be a judge. We're having
Yeah,
ugly
we are.
We don't need it. We know who got the ugliest sweater. We already know.
Already got it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna wear it right there. I'm gonna wear
Yeah,
it there.
ugly sweater contest at Olive Garden's, funky hat contest at
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
That's what's
Lots and lots and lots of fun on 125th Street that
So I
night.
just-
Then, when we're finished, we're gonna have a sea of lights with
And
new
we have a
decorations.
float. And we have a float on this.
Cove has a float. We sent you your letter yesterday on what
Cove
time
and-
you're supposed to be there.
Cove
Snitch
and
to
On
your
Point.
letter.
Cove and On Point have a float.
Yeah.
I mean, great floats. Assemblywoman Inez Dickens have a float.
Wow.
Durst Corporation have a float.
Mm-hmm.
And these are big lighted floats with fixtures on them. You can have your own sound system, so everybody's gonna be pumping their own favorite music.
Oh, we
We're
gonna
lighting
be-
up
Will there be
125th.
on point mugs?
We have it on one mug.
because they
We
gonna
have
wait.
it
Get
on
t-shirts.
one
We're not
mug.
coming. We're gonna have t-shirts.
Yes.
So just one more question because I want to talk about this, and this is really it's about Harlem Holiday Lights, but it's about why so many people are gonna be interested in it coming to this. On your website is was it 125th Street bid.nyc?
No,
No.
for holiday lights is
No, because we're gonna get to that too. But what's your bids website?
Oh yes, 125th Street .nyc. Yes.
www.125thstreet.nyc. So when you go on this website, there's a part on it that has the footfall. I'm very, very, very intrigued about this, guys. Because what does the footfall tell you?
The footfall tell you how many people are walking on 125th Street, and it's in real time. So we know per hour, we know where the majority of the people are at what time.
Can you give us some numbers? Like what's a peak time, a day, and place? What's that?
So we're averaging monthly over 950,000 people a month on one side of the street. We found from 12 to 1 o'clock. Now you understand why the rent's so high. It's like yes,
Lot of traffic.
Lots of foot traffic between 12 and 2 o'clock. Is where the high peak traffic. Retailers love it. They can plan their operations. We know on which day have the most people. We know what happens when the weather go up, and we've been tracking for 4 years. So we have 4 years of data. This is what really help us to market 125th Street to a lot of people. people. When you have a street that have that many people within walking distance of 700,000 people community, it's a very vibrant market.
Plus, you're responsible for the cleaning and maintaining that aesthetic of safety and cleanliness on 125th. I know the bid is a big part of that as well.
We do, and we can toot those same numbers with litter. We pick up 7,500 pounds of pedestrian litter every month. We have a clean campaign now trying to figure out how we can reduce that number, because everyone talks about Harlem growing, and I see litter growing. More people, more litter. But we do pick up and clean.
So Barbara, right, Harlem's always been known for its cultural aspect, right? Even 125th Street. So with the rise in rents, how do you think that's impacting some of the mom and pop individuals, the people that, those not name brand big box stores, but those folks that have been there for a long time on 125th Street? Are they able to survive out there? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, growth is challenging to everybody right now. Whole Foods opened up, and Starbucks across the street was empty the next day. I mean, this is my message, is that you have to understand when you're at risk, when you're in business.
Right.
If a mega store move near you, actually when they announce that they're coming, then it's time to start changing your operation. And I think that's one of the things that's not happening, is enough education on how to survive in growth. And it's one of the things that, it's on my bucket list of how do we get more into that. It is challenging. And if you stay the same, you will be at risk. And someone bigger than you will come. You find the large Applebee's had to leave. Jennifer Convertible had to leave. So now let's look at our smaller businesses. What do they need? And I think technology is the leverage field for everybody.
But talk about the black businesses, the black owners that are still on 125 that people may not know. Land is different as opposed to retailers or visual.
Land is different. Thanks. Yes, because this is one
Thank
of the
you.
things.
I'll get my check after you.
We'll do that. We'll help On Point get a
you.
space on 125th
Thank you,
Street.
thank you.
That's what we'll do. But what happens is we need to stop looking at 125th Street as just a retail center. Retail is at the bottom. It's the hardest, and it's challenging for everyone. But there are owners of property who are people of color on 125th Street. And owners don't walk around and say, hey, look at me. I own this building. And they also rent to the person who can pay the largest rent. And so we have to start looking at how to separate the social and when to integrate it. What's the right time? How to talk about social issues in terms of return on investment. That's how you get the attention of the owners. There are people who will lower rent if they understand the value of what you're bringing. But that's a one-on-one conversation. It's not a program that is put out there for the masses.
Can you share with us who the black or the people of color owners are?
And live?
No. The land on 125th Street. So, there's a certain store or there's a certain place on 125th Street that we may think may not be owned by people of color, but the land is owned by people of color.
I can give you one, like House of Hoops. Everyone goes into House of Hoops, and they're like, these stores, these sneakers cost so much, blah, 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 blah. But House of Hoops is paying rent to a person of color. So, you look on the corner of 125th Street and you look at Dwayne Reed, where Dwayne Reed is, they're paying rent to a person of color. You look at where the Magic Johnson Theater is. There's people of color that's in a major deal that involves ground lease with the whole complex paying rent to them. So we need to start to learn to understand business better, and it's more than just about retail. It's about licensing. It's about office. It's about doctors. It's about providing services. There's a long, long list of opportunities, but we focus on retail. And with retail, the thread person get his money first, the fabric get theirs. This one, when it gets to the retailer, if he don't sell it, he eats it. Yeah. And so that is the hardest part.
So,
Bob.
Question for you. Quick question. You have Picasso, you have Renoir, you have Monet, but I don't think people know that out of all those illustrious artists that we named, there's a female who's president of the BID who's an amazing artist as well. You want to talk a little bit about your art and maybe what you're doing next with that?
Well, right now, I am an artist. And I have a fine arts degree, and business is actually my minor. And so I paint every day, and I issued myself a challenge that I was going to release an art piece every day for a year. And I'm now on day number 323. So I'm almost finished with my art piece. So since you brought it up, go to my Instagram page, at Barbara Askins.
There you go.
At Barbara Askins, and look at my artwork. Yes.
But I just want to ask you one question. Once you get past the economics of it, because I think what you're doing is great. It's uplifting the community. I'm all down for that and everything. How we have viewers from all over that watch the show. How would other communities get this movement, this great uplifting experience into their communities?
You sound like Yasmin. Yasmin has been on my case for a long time. Barbara, how can somebody else know what you're doing? How can somebody else know how to do this? And you should know, when we created this on 125th Street, it wasn't a new movement, but it was the first time in a community of color on the planet, I would say. And so organizing around economics in our community is different from organizing other places. And so it is upon me to find a way to share the knowledge, and I'm working on that. And maybe we can work with On Point.
Well, we are. We gonna work. I just want to also say that other folks are saying hi to you.
Hello.
Hi. So, Curtis Archer has stated he will be on his float dancing.
That's right.
What's up, Curtis? And Curtis is also a show from HCTC.
And also, Curtis is the silver sponsor of the event. They
Oh,
are the
excuse
silver.
me.
They're our major sponsors this year. Yes.
Yeah, you gotta give him a big shout out on that one.
Yes, he has a big float.
Well, he better dance a lot.
Okay, all right.
So, the folks that'll be on this event on Saturday, just tell us, where should we start out if we want to come? So we want to come at 3:00 at the Children's Village, but where do we need? What's the real time and where? And Harlem Lighted Up, I don't think we mentioned, and I wanted to give Curtis his props, but he left. Harlem Lighted, you and him and Curtis worked on that title together, Harlem Lighted Up.
Yeah, Curtis actually wrote the song. He wrote the song for us.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, Harlem Lighted Up had Peter Wayne to sing it, and we still use it because it is a great song for us. And so, okay, for the early activities, like I said, is the Health Village and blah, blah, blah. The community stage starts at 4:00. That's on the corner of Morningside Avenue. And that's where you're going to start having the music and the playing. You also start picking up your earphones for the silent party at 4:00. At 5:00, the Children's Village start, and yes, we're having karaoke and art under the Apollo Theater.
Because she want to hear you sing.
She sing
Why'd you hit me?
karaoke. That starts at 5:00.
Okay,
and
I'll
they're
be right
shooting.
there. I'll be right there.
There's a lot going on in that block. They're shooting Showtime at the Apollo
Okay.
that day, and Blick Art Supply is opening up, and with lots of giveaways right there. So it's going to be karaoke and art and cheese biscuits, Olive Garden. I mean, yes, Red Lobster is going to be giving away the cheese
I
biscuits
love
right in that
those.
corner.
Oh, my
But
God.
Maria, and she's going to talk about hers when she comes up also. You can find everything on the Harlem Happenings app. We have an app. We're going to be doing push notifications that whole day so you can know where to go. T-Mobile is going to start at 5, and they have a DJ, employees in there, all up and down 125th Street. I would say if you want music, start at 4. If you want community resources, start at 3. If you want to do the parade of lights, we're kicking it off at 7:00 to light up 125th Street. And after that, we're going to do boot camp at Blink.
Well, Barbara, I want to say thank you for next Saturday. We're all going to be there.
Thursday,
November 16th. Thursday, November
Must have been with
16th.
Muhammad Ali on
I would.
Muhammad Ali. Yes, we're going to have him on the
You have
floor.
one? Great.
Thursday,
I'm
November
bringing my ugly
16th.
sweater, and I want my gift.
We got
Okay.
gifts for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
But-
on point, we want to say thank you
But
for
you
coming back.
you know you got conflict because Yaz is a judge.
I got it in the bag. Don't
Got
worry
you.
about it. I got it in the bag. But we want to say thank you. Want to say thank you for all your hard work in the community as well. What is it called?
So I think we got a caller. We got a special caller for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah, for you.
Oh, yeah, for you.
Not for me. I don't get calls like that. Good morning. You're on Point Experience.
They hung up. Oh, well, try again, caller.
Try again. You're look nice on there, right?
I do look
I know you look nice on here.
good on here. I keep looking at myself.
Yeah, vague. So thank you so much, Queen Dream. Take us out. We'll be right back with our next guest. Keeping up with Harlem Holiday Lights.
Yes.